and welcome back to the moth-hawk project. So yeah, today we're gonna be working on this beautiful wing part, and then we're gonna continue following with the rest of the thing. So today I actually want to make sure that I have the whole wing section done, so that we can start with second color, so that we can represent the whole color scheme of the drawing. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? So that's what we're gonna be doing. I hope you all had a lovely day today, because I did. Allow me to just double check if my voice is good, and then we can start. I had a lovely day today, because I did. Yep, that's good enough. Alright, so you probably noticed that I lost my color again. That happens. It happens time to time that I lose color in my drawing, which can happen because of the how do you say this one? I actually lost the color because I was actually busy with with the other drawing, where I just had to do with black and white because I'm not yet done with coloring, and I'm not gonna be doing the coloring. I'm just gonna do the black and white and then do the coloring at the stream. So yeah. This is the color that I want. I had way red. I had way blacker. All right, hold on. Nope. There you go. Now we're picking the right color. We can go for that one. This on this. No, this one is actually the right one, I believe. Yes, it is. Alright, good. So now we actually want to make sure that we switch back to the other brush of eraser so that we don't intervene with that. Color things in. Like this, and then like that. Boom. Done. So yeah, the main problem here is it's a lot of work, but it should be done quite easily. Also should lower this to a little bit less size. There you go. So yeah, we're going to be working on this, and then from here on we're going to be working towards the second color, and then to the third one, if I believe. So yeah, I actually have seen now the how do you say the trailer? Yes, the trailer of Godzilla versus King Kong, and I found it quite disturbing to see that Godzilla actually would be able to fit on aircraft carrier, which I believe it's a big giant monster, so it should not be able to transport by that. So yeah, it's a little bit strange that the King Kong is like the same size of Godzilla itself, and both are the size of a little bit bigger than a 2-story high building. It's like not even funny. They're literally the size of toys if you compare them, to real life buildings, if I may say so myself. So yeah, I saw that. So that's the thing. You know, if you want to make something big and monstrous, you should at least, and you already established how big it is, and then you don't use that establishment already in the next movie. It's not a very smart idea. Because, you know, consistency makes the story more believable, and if you remove that, then, well, you're having just a story, but you don't have the believability. You actually removed it. So yeah, that's a thing that can happen. I know that that can happen, but you know, it's very important that if you want to have the audience, you know, if the audience wants to see, you know, a big giant monster fight and you're removing the part of the word monster from a movie, it's not very smart. Especially if it comes to big giant creatures that want to fight each other, you know? And you remove the big factor of it away. It's like, yeah, you're just gonna see monsters fighting, even though, you know, it's supposed to be big monsters. And they're not supposed to be, you know, almost as big as a two-story building. No, it needs to be like 3 or 4 stories. It needs to be extraordinary big. Well, that's what Godzilla was, at least. It was a big giant monster using a big giant laser beam of doom. And then, you know, you remove the part that, well, makes it big. Which feels like really bad in comparison. Like, wow, that doesn't look, that's not the Godzilla I want. Well, the main problem is actually that, you know, it ruins the believability, it ruins the effect that it has been created. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and then you're gonna be like, wait, they're medium size, so they're like little toys now. Because to a kid, you know, you don't want to see two toys fighting. No, you want to see these big giant monsters fighting, and you cannot have that when you compare them to the size of an aircraft carrier. Of course, an aircraft carrier is large, but that thing's supposed to be larger than an aircraft carrier. It's supposed to be the biggest things ever created by ever made, or well, ever made by, you know, by nature. It's supposed to be the biggest of the biggest. It's like, you know, comparing a giraffe to an elephant, and then, you know, smalling down and then shrinking the giraffe down to the elephant, and then saying that the elephant is bigger. It's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. That's stupid. So yeah, if they didn't not use, you know, if they had made, I think the no boy, god damn it, always happening when I'm trying to do something like explaining stuff. So yeah. So the main problem here is that, you know, this fight is not going to be, well, it's going to be entertaining to watch, but it is not going to be entertaining to watch for a long period because, you know, you ruined the believability of, you know, that these creatures were big, that they were the biggest of creatures ever lived, and now they're just, you know, not as big. They cannot even climb up a big giant, you know. Well, they could climb up things, but they could not climb up a big giant. How do you say? A big giant building? Yeah, big giant building. You know, full of. They could not even climb. They couldn't even climb a 3-story build. They could not even level a 3-story building down. If, you know, if they would waltz over it. So a 3-story building is actually the size of these creatures. It's like, what? No. They fucked up the amount of, you know, bigness in the movie. If they didn't had done that, you know, made the creatures look small to perspective size, I think it would have created a way better, cool looking view. So yeah. Anyway, it's a thing that can happen, you know. So, that's actually what I was saying today. That, you know, it's very important to keep the keep 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 yourself with, you know, the god damn it, words. Make sure that you have your perspective right. If your perspective isn't right, then, you know, it can cause a lot of problems and it can cause a lot of issues in the drawing or in whatever you're making if your perspective is wrong, which can happen sometimes, you know. Hands, proportions, out of proportions in hands, body, feet. Such things can happen. And if you don't fix that, well, the image is going to be suffering from it. The drawing as well. And I clearly can see that when seeing the trailer. It's like, oof, oof. It's a cool looking trailer, don't get me wrong, but it feels a little bit empty on that side. I have not, of course, not see the full trailer, but I have seen some of it. Because, you know, I don't want to be spoiled that much. Well, it's not like there's gonna be a story, it's just gonna be fighting, so that's a thing. Which is not bad, don't get me wrong. A story could work by just, you know, it's a kaiju battle, so, well, it's not a kaiju battle if it's not big. That's indeed a problem. So now, I'm done for my little rant. Let's continue here. So, I am now working on these feathers, like I did before. And I'm trying to do my very best on these feathers, trust me. And I had some good news. You're probably wondering what the hell is the good news. Well, I tested out the quality of some of the games to see if I now finally have everything correctly set up. And I believe I was right upon this. I actually made a quite good quality live stream on moth-hawk, so that means that, you know, it's a very advanced game and a very fun game to play. Don't get me wrong here, it's very fun. But yeah, it's an advanced game and it has a lot of graphical capabilities, and I actually succeeded in live streaming it, which means I could live stream it, which means I could technically live stream it. Of course, I rather want to play Temtem, but hey, you know, I'm gonna be playing Temtem anyway this Saturday again. But yeah, I perfected my quality, so that means that I'm doing actually quite good. I'm improving. I'm improving upon the settings. I'm improving on, you know, the quality of the movie of the stream. Sadly, I am not yet improving on, you know, cutting and pacing and all that stuff. So editing, it's not a thing that I can do. It's a thing that I never have done, so I need to learn it. But after that, I will be able to, you know, record certain games and then, you know, place it. It's supposed to stop using, you know. It's stupid. It's my go-to word. It's not a very smart idea to have a go-to word. Anyway, the problem that I actually came across was that the software I've been using was out of date the first time, and now I actually fixed that. I also use now different software like OBS, which then also increases my, well, it increases the quality of the streams, which I was surprised upon, like, oh man, I can actually stream this now. Yes, I can. Cool. That's awesome. So I fixed that, and I can now play more games. I can actually load more games in that are more advanced. Well, advanced. Better. and I can play it. So now I need to decide which kind of game I want to play. I'm probably gonna play something like a tycoon game. Probably. So yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying not to use the word, so it's a little bit harder. That's why I had like this big giant gap in it. Like, hello, are you not supposed to say something? Yes, I'm supposed to say something, but I don't know what. So that's the thing that happened, and I'm very happy about it. I actually was very surprised how far I got in it and how far I will be in it after some time. And I hope that it's gonna be turning out great once I finally figure out what kind of game I want to play. I'm thinking about, open world or something like that is also very cool. So yeah, it's a thing that I did. I fixed my problem. I fixed the issue that I had before, that I could not stream highly quality game like moth-hawk, and I can do it now. So that's good. Actually, that's really good. Now, going back to what I wanted to do, I am getting towards, fixing every feather with the color that I need. Of course, these are feathers, so these are indeed very hard to do. Normally you only have like 2 feathers or 3 feathers because, you're not making a whole damn bird, you're making like maybe a helmet or something. You can still use this technique, just... Oh no, it's actually natural. Good. You can use this technique to get this effect of, a feather that has been colored. You can use this technique to create better looking feathers or plumes. There you go, better word, plumes, plume. These plumes actually represent the colors in the feathers. So to make sure that these feathers look realistic, I actually need to use more colors in the feathers. So that's why I'm only coloring them half a bit and a half, because of the coloration that I need to do. Otherwise, it won't be really not like really believable. More like it won't fit. It won't fit around the color that I'm already using with these feathers. So that's the thing that I'm going to be doing. So first I'm going to be drawing, and then I'm going to be adding some more colors to it. So in the end, this will look a little bit more like a rainbow color, but it won't, because it's not a rainbow. It's only 3 colors that I need. That's what a color scheme does. You only have like a certain type of colors you can choose. And one of these colors are actually gonna be, this big brown color. Of course, it looks great with the brown color only, but I don't want that. So yeah. Also, there are no highlights yet in the feathers, so that means that every feather is all the same on highlight, and that's also going to be changing soon. The main problem with all these feathers is that, it's a lot. So that's why it takes so much time. So yeah. Is that all? Yeah, that's actually all that I needed to say today. Well, it's not all that I needed to say today. It's like a lot of things. I don't know what I needed to say in the first place. Most things are going to be probably silly anyway. But the thing that I actually said, like decoloration, is actually true. If you don't use the colors that you're already using in the color scheme, it's very weird to not use them. The only time that you're not going to be using the color scheme is probably when you're using like crystals or something different. Like for instance, I can use this color scheme, but I can also use the color scheme on the bottom side of the bird and on the side bird, but I cannot use it like for instance on the claw and on the leg. Therefore I need to have a different color scheme in it. And of course I'm going to be doing that, but before I be able before I will be able to touch the color scheme of the legs, I must first finish off the tail. That's the thing. First you're gonna go for tail, then you're gonna go for body, and then you're gonna go for the legs, and then you're gonna go for the head. Why are you doing this? Because otherwise you're probably not gonna be able to use all the color schemes correctly. The main issue with this color scheme is like it is limited, definitely limited, and the color scheme requires a lot of attention. And one of these attentions is that I need to make sure that the feathers don't look out of the ordinary too much. And I need to use this color scheme a lot. And I did with these feathers right here. I did with these feathers right here. And I'm going to be filling up all this part. All this stuff I'm going to be filling. Because otherwise it won't be working quite well. So yeah. All these feathers need to be colored. But they need to be colored exactly how the color scheme is. Well, not exactly. I could have changed up the positioning of the colors, but I could not change up the position of all the colors. So I want this color to be in one place. This is like one color, and I can just remove it again a little bit, and then I have the color that I want, which is this brown tip on the end of a feather. Of course, sometimes it's a little bit more harder to get, but yeah, it's important that these feathers are like this. But it's also important that you keep all the feathers in the same position. You need to make sure that all the things are done correctly. You need to realize like when is a feather a feather and when is it a tool, or when is it not the feather at all. Otherwise you're going to be coloring in parts that are not. Oh hey Dunkelson, nice to see you. Yes, it's indeed a good day. It's a great day actually. I really like how this is going. And I'm already very excited upon how the end result is gonna be once this whole damn thing is done. I mean, obviously these colors are really hard to do, trust me. I tried a lot of them, and a lot of these feathers are really hard to do because some of them are connected to other parts, and you need to make sure that you don't color the wrong parts in. Like for instance, I don't want these to be colored like this, because these don't resemble these feathers. The only ones that represent these feathers are these, until right over here. So until here, there's going to be these plumps, and then it's going to go back to the original, and it's going to be going back to the original color scheme. So that's going to be this very bland orange, which I of course want to have happen. So yeah, that's the idea at least. I really tried my very best upon getting this done correctly. So yeah, this is also why it takes so slow. It's like every single feather needs to have the right amount of proportion on the color. Of course I'm getting better at it. Of course I'm also increasing upon how to use color in my drawings, which is very important, I want to make sure yeah, there we go. I want to make sure that the colors in my drawing are, good. that I don't, use colors that are really not well used together. And that's the thing that I want to make sure of. I'm actually learning how to color. I'm actually learning how to draw. And the more I draw, the more I color, the better I get at doing these kind of things. And the more I do it, and the more of these things I do, the better I get at it. Which of course makes me really happy when once I'm like busy and then learning like, oh yes, I need to do it like this, like I did back in the day, That's a thing that I can do. So, yes. What now? Well, we're still stuck on this anyway. So, what should we talk about today? Oh, I know. Let's talk about the man, the goat, and the goose. Yes, the man, the goat, and the goose. Alright. So there was this man, alright. He had a goose and a goat. And he had to cross the water with this beautiful goat and this goose. And on the other hand, and on the other side, there was this big giant wolf standing there. You know why he had to move why he had to move the goat and the goose? Because apparently they were eating his crops. And well, he could have eating his cabbage. Yeah, it was eating their cabbage. It was eating their cabbage. So the goose and the cabbage go well together. And well, the goat doesn't. So he had to move the goat, but on the other side there was a wolf. And of course the wolf likes the goat. Also likes the cabbage, and also likes the wolf likes the goat and the goose. So this old man was thinking like, how do I get that goose? How do I get that goose and that goat on the other side of the pond so that, for sure that goat, oh no, well, how does he get that goat over the pond without, getting eaten by the wolf, and, that the goat doesn't eat the cabbage? Well, there still is a goose around. So what he did was actually quite smart. This man said like, you know what? I'm gonna take the cabbage with me, and I'm gonna drop it off near the wolf. Why? Because the wolf doesn't eat cabbage. So the goat, but of course he wanted to make sure that he could plant the cabbage again on the other side. So what he did, he took the wolf with him. Ah, well, you see, this is a problem, right? If you pick up the wolf, then there's nothing gonna be happening. Well, that's wrong. This man was a champion wrestler, and he took the wolf with him. Then, what did he do then? Oh wait, no, stop me. Back again. He rode back and put the wolf back into position near the cabbage. Then he went back, picked up the goose. Yes, finally we get there. So he picked up the goose because the goose was like, I want to be on the pond soon. So he moved the goose, he picked him up, and he moved it and switched the goose for the wolf. Why did he do that? Well, because he wanted to actually have the wolf on the other side, because some reasons. Maybe it was the goat all along, but so he picked up the wolf, switched the wolf for the goat on the boat. It was a hassle, but he managed. And then he switched the goat back on the other side with the cabbage. Therefore, he actually was able to plant the cabbage where the wolf was, and he had finally found out how to plant his cabbage. The end. I know this story is Not one of my best stories, but hey, so far it's a good story. It's believable, all right. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for this story. It's a little bit harder to do when all right. So there you have still one. So yeah. So that's how you move. That's how you get. That's how you plant cabbage without ruining without ruining without the goat getting without getting the goat eaten and getting the cabbage eaten by the goat. So without the goat getting eaten by the wolf and the cabbage not getting eaten by the cabbage not getting eaten by the goat. It was an old riddle back in the day when I was young, and it was like, ooh, that's actually a smart riddle. It's sometimes really hard to do because you really need to realize like, what do I need to bring first over, and then the other one, and then the other one, and then the other one. So yeah. But those riddles were great back in the day. Anyway, so we're almost we're almost half an hour in, and how far are we? Well, we're halfway there, so that's good. We're halfway the coloring of these beautiful feathers, even though it took us almost like ages. I would not say ages, but it took us quite a while to get these things done. Of course, we're gonna be doing this like really gentle, people. We're gonna be, of course, not dealing with this pretty good, but we are able to manage ourselves. So oh hi, need to move down. Ah, damn it. Oh well. So yeah, the main idea here is that we're just getting all the stuff done, so all the feather parts done. The main problem is that the feather parts are sometimes really hard to do, and I mean like really hard to do. So yeah, after this, I will absolutely show you guys how far I already am in the drawing, because that's important, and I like to do that. So yeah. Anyway, today, let's talk about something new. What shall we be talking about? I don't know. Something at least. To keep my mind off certain things like the time. Because sometimes it's really hard to figure out what kind of subject I want to talk about. It's sometimes like, I don't know anything. Please give me an answer, God. And then I'm like, oh yes, I supposed to think about that. So yeah. Normally I have like a good subject to talk about, but today I'm like, again? Really nothing? But yeah, it's good to have like a good idea of what I'm doing. So I try to do my very best upon getting this thing done properly. The main idea here is that whatever I do, I need to make sure that I'm just keeping focus on drawing these big giant plums. Otherwise, this drawing is gonna be ruined. Well, not ruined, more like it hasn't be all for nothing, and I don't want that to happen. Also, once I finally have the second color, it will be way faster, because then I can actually implement way faster the colors of these things. So yeah. So why is this all there? Oh, damn it. am I doing it like that? Get it down. And then get this like this. There you go. And then I need to make sure that I keep my up roll there. So some of these feathers are not exactly the feathers that I need. So I need to make sure that I don't use the color on those feathers. Like for instance here, you have these big giant feathers that are not the feathers that you need. The feathers that you need are these. So some of the feathers are going to be the same color, and some of the feathers are going to be the color that is representing in the other drawing. So that's why I'm being very picky right now, but it's necessary that I do it so I keep, consistency in my artwork. Of course, it's going to be looking a little bit strange why I'm not doing those, but hey, I could do it with these, but I don't know. Then I also need to do it with the wings, and then I also need to do it with the wings. That means that I'm going to be doing a lot more. I don't know. Does that make the thing look more cooler? I don't know. Yes, maybe. Well, we will see soon. Otherwise, I need to do more stuff. Well, I don't mind doing more stuff. It just means that I need to do more stuff. The main idea here is that I'm trying to get this coloration there. So yeah. There you go. So yeah, these feathers sometimes are there, but I need to make sure that these feathers are... God damn it. Oh, I switched to a wrong color, didn't I? Really, did I do that? Did I switch to a wrong color? No, I didn't. Oh, thank God. It's just, an optical illusion again. Ooh, I don't like those. I don't like optical illusions when it comes to these things. Especially when it comes to optical illusions with color. Coloration. Because it always makes me confused, like, oh my. Oh my, oh my. So yeah. So how far are we now? Well, we're almost halfway there. So now's the question, should I or should I not make this whole damn thing the same plum? Let's see, if we do that, that means that we also need to do it with these things. Oh boy. Do we want that? Yes, we do. But that's gonna be taking a long time to fix. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's roll a dice for it. Fuck it. Positive let's see. Even means yes, uneven means no. It's even. Well, dread. That means more busy work. Great. Great, 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 great. Busy work. How lovely. Was all weird. Well, technically it was not their dice that forced me to do this, but I also found like, it doesn't look great when I don't do it. Really, really. Oh, for fuck's sake. I pressed the button again. There you go, fixed it again. So the main problem is if I don't do it, it will ruin the if I don't do it, it will ruin the consistency in the drawing. How come? Well, the consistency in the drawing is very important. And I'm working backwards. That's not good. So I should then technically do it. I should technically do it then with, yeah, I should. I definitely should. I should definitely work backwards. So I need to go down, up, and down, and then go here. This is the first part. You're probably wondering what I'm doing now. Well, I'm doing the thing that I needed to do, which is creating the consistency in the drawing. And don't tell me that this is going to be a problem, but I will tell you this. It is necessary. Which makes it really uncomfortable for me. It's like, oh my god, I need to do this? No. But since I need to do it anyway, I'll do it. Now I need to get to this one. There you go. These feathers are such a pain in the ass to do. But they're worth it. They're worth it. There you go. So the idea here is that I actually am gonna be using the same thing as I always do. So what we need to do is fixing these things, and then after that we're gonna be going for the other one. So yeah, looks awesome, I'll tell you that. I just need to make sure that everything here is the same. There you go. Really? No, 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 no. Please don't fucking lag out. Thank you. Jeez, don't do that. No. That's evil. Only evil people lag out like that. Alright, cool. Now, since we're doing with this, so yeah. Alright. So yeah, this looks like a lot of busy work. Yes, it is a lot of busy work, but it is worth it. Trust me in the end. But holy hell, I'm regretting this situation right now already. Because it's such a pain in the ass to do. Because it needs to be done correctly, otherwise it won't work properly. There you go. So, let's take a look at it from a bigger picture here. Alright, so yes, it does look way better. That's true. I'm gonna be admitting this. This looks way better than before. But we need to now do it as well on the wings. So that's a big problem. But I will do it anyway. Alright. So I think I will be able to finish this tomorrow. And then afterwards we're gonna be going back to the wings and fix that part. And I need to find out how to do it quicker. Oh boy. So yeah. It's a thing that I'm gonna be doing. For now I will show you how far I got with the thing, because it's almost time. So, let's go for Dreadful. And I'll show you. There you go. Lovely. So yeah, Dreadful is this. So yeah, it looks well. It's almost done. It's almost correct. So it's still missing some stuff, like yeah, you know, the belly needs a bit more rounding here. Weapon needs to be here, so there needs to be a weapon part. So that's gonna be good, and then I can then finally start on the face, and then I hope I will be able to finish that in not today, but I hope that I will be able to finish it in 3 or 4 days, so that we can then, you know, when the live stream is, that we can color it in directly. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed for today, because yeah, it's time. And thanks for watching, and I wish you all a lovely day. And until the next time, have a nice day, everybody. Bye.